We should be live, I think.
It
you know what I need to
sounds
do is go, I need to open up the comments section just to make sure that I see any comments whenever it comes in. By the way, if you are seeing this, and if you can let me know that you're here, that would be cool. Matter of fact, I'm going to, oh, you know what? I think I've got a little banner thing that I can put up that says, "Hey, if you have a question, then let us let us know." So I'm gonna go ahead and create that little banner real quick. I see somebody made a comment, but I can't see it just yet. But hold on, this is like total professional broadcast stuff, you guys.
it's
I'm
great.
making it up as I go along. You guys probably hear Dan in the background over here. I don't have him showing on the main screen because I want to kind of like, ta-da! But hold on a sec here. Ask us anything in the comments. So, oh my God, I must be already a little bit drunk because I can't type to save my life. All right, add the banner. Is it doing it? It's not. I don't know why. Let me see if all right, let me hit the comments. We got people. But I
My
need to
mother
show
probably
these comments. Yeah, I need
my,
to be
my
able to show
mother
these.
my mother's probably front and center. What can you see on the oh yeah,
Where's
great.
mom?
This is
Okay. So I need to tell everybody who we're talking to. So we got Dan Lewis, and
hello,
Dan
hello.
is oh, let's see here. Oh, there's Dan. But here, I need to show you this handsome mug here. There we go. So that's Dan Lewis, an American actor in South Korea. And we're going to get to talk to him about his new book called Tooth for Tooth by J.K. Franco. It's a brand new audiobook that I think you just opened it up, right? Oh, look at, there's Dan's hand. There he is.
Eh,
Hey, buddy.
hey, what's going on?
Daniel-san.
I'm
How
trying
are you?
to. There we
There you go.
go. Okay.
Look at that.
Can you see
Totally.
the level? Oh, nice.
Yeah, it looks great.
Oh, this is a great view of the.
That looks good. It looks great. So where are you anyway?
So I'm in Seoul, South Korea right now.
Very cool.
Uh, yeah, yeah. At a restaurant, Korean barbecue, fitting.
Uh huh.
Many people can recognize that.
Korean barbecue. Okay.
Indeed.
Very cool. So we got a few people here. So Julie says hello. Hi, Julie.
Hey, hey, Julie, how are you?
Julie is awesome. She's like,
Nice to meet
well,
you virtually from halfway around the world.
yeah. I think I mentioned Julie before. She and I have some pretty cool chats. And then
Perfect.
Michelle Dannon is here. Hi, Michelle.
That's my mother.
Oh, really? Oh, hi, Michelle. Michelle Dannon, you made a great kid. He's he's a fine young man.
Yeah,
And
Troy. Troy here is he's a great fellow narrator and friend, mother that we connected on a Facebook group for narrators and good guy, great talented narrator, smooth, silky whiskey voice.
well, oh yeah. Speaking of whiskey, so Dan, I did this. In your honor.
Okay.
I couldn't find any Korean whiskeys, and I'm sure there are some good Korean whiskeys, but the Japanese do some pretty amazing whiskeys. So this is called Suntory whiskey,
All
Suntory
right.
Toki, and it's a really good whiskey. So I'm drinking in your honor
Cheers. Appreciate it.
from your general area of the world, enjoying some whiskey.
Nice. I just have water
So,
for now.
are you doing water? Because it's what
Yeah.
time is it there now? It's like next Friday, isn't it?
11. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday the 7th, 11:48 a.m. or something.
Wow. Anything
Yeah.
anything big happening? We can take it. We've been going through so much crap out here in the U.S. What? No matter what, I don't care if you said that Godzilla has just left port and is headed over to New York. We'd be like, Yeah, okay. I can understand that. We kind of figured something was coming. The murder hornets were just like a were just like a little subplot thing, and now we
Yeah, there's
you
a
know,
lot. It seems like there's a novel unrolling in the U.S. I mean, or just the whole world, really. Like, I
yeah.
mean, I think maybe people plugging in and kind of losing sense of reality into an audiobook is a good thing. So the world just seems to be going kind of haywire right now, and seeing it from like halfway around the world. I've been here for about a year. So I mean, I can order. Yeah, I want to. I'll speak a little Korean. Put my order in. We're gonna eat what's called chadol or samgyeopsal, which is pork, which is belly, and we're probably gonna get beef belly.
Oh, nice. And Somi is your
No, I didn't
girlfriend,
order.
right?
Yeah, my girlfriend's sitting across from me, so it means
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I can order. Yeah, I can order now. Yeah, it's just fine.
Yeah, it's
So
very
in
casual.
Korea, in order to order, you just press a button on your table. And nice to meet you, Julie. Yeah,
Yeah. Julie's so
comments
cool.
coming in.
Amanda says hi too.
Yeah, you can just you press a button on the table. There's no the servers in Korea. There's no tipping, and there's just you just press a button and it calls when you put your order in. So here, I'll put my order in.
Okay.
There's my bell.
Oh, nice. So no tipping,
Yeah.
do they? So they don't have to be nice to you if they don't want to.
It's just getting the job done. 그래서 삼겹살 차돌 3개 주세요. 하고 치즈 있으세요?
치즈요?
네, 치즈 하나 하고 밥 하나? 네, yeah. 네, 네. 감사합니다. All right.
Wow, nice. How long did it take you to learn to speak Korean? How long have you been there, by the way?
Hey, Amanda. I've been here for a year. So I originally came here to teach English. And I started at like just little kids, like kindergartners, and I couldn't stand that. So I left that. And then I started teaching adults. So I
Yeah.
was teaching adults in like a financial district, which is a really, really cool job. And
Huh.
so I left that too because of coronavirus and just not really knowing at the time how bad it was going to get.
Oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
So
So how did they handle the coronavirus out there? I mean, I know that South Korea or Korea in general, right, is doing really well.
it
Like they're
appears it appears so. Like they, from the get go, really quarantined everybody pretty immediately and contact tracing, not in like a really invasive FBI kind of way. They have CCTV everywhere in Korea that controls crime, and they just started using that to employ quarantine measures and masks. We're at a restaurant, so you don't have to wear it, but I have mine. Masks and just good. The medical system here is very good. So,
Marie
like it's
Marie says hi. Hi,
oh,
Dan.
that's my aunt.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, I
Hi,
got the
Marie.
fam joining.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry. So go ahead. I was just I was excited. I saw somebody throw a comment in, so I wanted to post it up.
yeah, for sure. That's my aunt. Hey, they're all repping upstate New York right now.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. My girlfriend, she's doesn't camera shy. She doesn't want to be on the camera, even though she's looking cute sitting across from me.
Yeah. She was she your main teacher in terms of like teaching you how to like do conversational Korean?
Yeah, she's pretty much saved me culturally. Every little cultural fork, she saved me in that respect here.
There's my wife, Sheila.
Oh, hey, Sheila. I met her briefly.
My total better half. Yeah.
Yeah, same. My better half is across the table.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So yeah, coronavirus. I mean, they've been handling it, I think, in a way that's so expedient and really. So when it first started here, they really got everything in order in terms of organizing the medical system, getting testing was the biggest thing. They started testing like thousands of people right out the gate, so they were able to see where the virus was. So they really, at first, we thought it was going to be worse, and then it turned out that because they took care of it so fast, that the curve, if you will, I hate that buzz phrase, flatten the curve.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's a real phrase, right? I mean, it's a real term.
Right. Oh, Mindy, that's my other aunt. She's my strongest aunt I have in terms of she's battling. She's a person of great faith, Mindy. So thank you for
Yeah.
being here. Yeah,
That's so cool.
yeah.
Is it? It's got to be nice to like whenever you have a chance to connect with your family, because you're so
It is.
far away.
Honestly, it is kind of nice that family members are joining right now because, like, it is a
Mm-hmm.
little alienating being here sometimes, especially when you don't speak the language fluently, and there's not many. You don't even speak. I don't speak English on a regular basis unless it's with my girlfriend. So it's it can be alienating, especially in these like coronavirus times and now these riots, everything happening. The world's
Yeah.
kind of in upheaval, but I'm ironically halfway around the world watching it from afar.
Yeah, saying WTF. But
Really, you know.
but it is nice, So one of the cool things about about technology now is, fortunately for me, my career has not been affected that much because I spend all my time in my studio in my home anyway. And you've been able to start doing some more audiobook work as well. And you're working with. I need to show this screen. Hold on, I'm going to take us off and put our screen on here because, yeah. So
Nice.
that's the name of the book. It's called Tooth for Tooth. It's by J.K. Franco.
Yeah. Oh, my younger
And
days of
and
headshot.
yeah, you're a handsome fella.
Yeah. Cheers. My younger headshots. There's a little older, little weight gainish headshot. I go. I fluctuate on the weight gain. You would think
Yeah.
moving to Korea, you would lose some weight maybe because of the low obesity rate here. No, not the case. They have everything you could possibly eat that's more conveniently accessible and more.
I think Americans are just more big boned. That's what I'm telling myself because my weight has not been fluctuating at all. It's just been going up.
Oh
I'm like,
man.
dang, I'm in danger of like exiting the dad bod stage and like
Oh no.
going into the next one. So I've been trying to start to exercise a little bit, and so my beautiful wife has been she's really been hitting it hard. She's been working out,
That's good.
and like,
Do you go to a gym or like are you just doing calisthenics at home? Because of
yeah, we haven't gone to a gym in a while. I've been running, and
just
then we
around the
have
hood,
a
around the neighborhood.
yeah, run out of the neighborhood and then run downstairs or down the street, and then there's a little lake nearby, and I run around that, and then that's about the time I start staggering, and then by the time I get back to my neighborhood, it's I'm drooling, a little blood's coming out of
Yeah.
my eye, and I'm
Jeez.
crying and vomiting a little bit.
Yeah, me
And
too. But I'm
I wet
younger, so
myself.
I should be able to handle it. But I'm not.
But
Samira.
yeah, so I'm not handling it as well as she is. She's a lot more disciplined than I am. But so my wife, she has a Peloton bike, and so she gets on that
Oh,
Peloton and she pedals, and I don't know how she does it. Like we went, my son said, "Hey, Dad, I'm going to go for a ride. You want to go?" And I said, "Yeah, so I'd love to." And then Sheila went, and she is in better shape than the two of us. We're like dogging it, trying to get up the hills, and she's just fine.
yeah.
And then we got home, and I was like, okay, that was a really good workout. And she said, well, I have to go down and do my regular workout now. So she went downstairs and like continued the workout.
There
She
you
did
go.
like a Peloton ride and upper body and stuff like that. So
Sorry, how's the sound? Is it getting too loud for the clinking and clanking and grilling that's soon to
no,
come?
it sounds great. Like every time you talk, it sounds clear. I mean, I can hear a little bit of stuff in the background, but yeah, it
Nice.
sounds.
Well, I'll show you the landscape of food we have here, and I'll explain to the viewers a little bit of what dining in Korea is like. Also, the
Mhm.
Peloton bike. Yeah, that was a part of a controversy too. It's like nothing can not be controversial. I remember there being like some Peloton commercial. I don't know, whatever. But
Oh, that's
um,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I remember that. Yeah, but
The
yeah.
Peloton controversy because like the white bought it for his wife, and
That's
it's like
right. And then
yeah, the body
who was that guy that
shaming.
did he did a fake commercial. He was the guy from Deadpool.
Deadpool. Yeah. Ryan
Shoot.
Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds did that commercial where
Yeah,
he hired the
some of
girl
that.
to do a thing where she was
Yeah.
yeah, it was really funny. If I had that commercial, then that would be awesome, but I
Well,
don't. So
I'll show you the landscape of the food here so people can.
Mhm.
So if anybody has questions, hey, there's my other aunt, Marie Fiore Cooley. Fiore
Christ
is the
almighty, how many
family.
ants do you have?
My mother, who birthed me, is a sister of one. Two, oh my God! If I get this wrong on air live, there's Maureen, Buzzy, Mindy, and Mary Beth. So 4 aunts,
Wow.
five sisters total. They're all
Okay.
part of the Fiori, which is Italian for flower.
Oh, very nice.
So that's
That's
my
sweet. So
my yeah.
you have a whole gaggle of ants taking care of you.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. All upstate New
Oh,
York, like
I bet
not New
they
York
ate you
City.
up when you were a little kid.
I was, yeah. I mean, we were the estranged family growing up in Cincinnati while they were sticking together in New
Mm.
York. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
actually, you know what? If people have questions about like Korea,
Hmm.
anything like life here, uh, five girls, Marines, yeah,
Yeah.
five girls,
She saved you.
man. So if
Yeah.
people have
So
questions. Yeah, so I'll show you the landscape here.
okay.
I'm going to keep the setup so I can bring you back to what it is right now.
Okay.
So here we go. Let me flip the camera, and my girlfriend, you can put your hat down like a K-pop star, like what the K-pop stars do. Yeah. So
Hey, those K-pop videos are addicting.
they
Tell
are.
if
They,
Yeah, if you don't mind, just tell Korea I said thank you. Those are really cool videos. They all have like their own little stories. Like I saw one little video where like some girl she wakes up in a strange bed and she's like I don't know what happened, and then like this handsome guy comes out of the shower and he's like, hey, I'm glad you're awake, and she's like, oh my God, what happened? And but it turns out that he didn't do anything. He just she got drunk and he saved her,
oh my
and
God, K-drama.
yeah, it was a total story in a little thing. And of course, I didn't know what was going on. I just kind of like pieced it together because I don't understand Korean. So
Oh
that looks
no.
pretty yummy. So this is lunchtime your time. It's 9:47 here, which means
Mm-hmm.
11:40. It's just about almost noon, right?
It's about noon. So this is
Okay.
samgyeopsal. This is beef belly from America, 미국, American
Oh,
beef belly.
okay.
무슨 이에요?
What is it
Rib.
called?
This is rib right here.
Oh, okay.
So pork rib, sorry, beef rib, beef belly.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little plate of rice and wasabi, and these are
Mm-hmm.
little grilled cheeses you can put on the grill too. They love cheese in Korea now. And here's
Well, that's
like
cool.
unlimited side dish, side menu,
Yeah.
and
See if you're going to keep that obesity rate down now, Korea. We introduced cheese. So
exactly.
we're all equal now.
Yeah. So this is and there's no one else. We're here kind of early, just so this is the how typical restaurants look with the, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah, it's a nice looking restaurant.
yeah, and
So is that thing like a little smoke puller upper thing, like a
right.
vent?
So this is a vent that
Okay.
has suction,
Okay.
and it pulls it up and away.
Oh,
And
cool.
you
I
can
could
pull
use one of
it.
those every time I cook. The damn
Yeah.
fire alarm goes off. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So
Leslie wants to know where in Korea are you,
yeah. Hey Leslie, I'm in
or the way
Seoul, South
the kids call it Korea now.
Korea.
So-
Seoul, South Korea. In the right now, specifically the Gwanaksan neighborhood, or yeah,
Wanatsan. Okay. Hey, I'm
Gwanaksan.
gonna
So
have you do so Dan and I, we chat often, and we talk about audiobooks and solve the problems of the world and stuff like that. But he was goofing around and did this. He did a Donald Trump impersonation that rocks, and it was so funny. And so first it was like a regular Donald Trump, as if he's talking to you, and then he did a Donald Trump speaking Korean, which I didn't
yeah,
understand a word he was saying, but it was like, oh, that's if Donald Trump could speak Korean, that would
yeah.
be it. So
Donald Trump.
I'm gonna put you on the spot
Okay.
and make you do a Donald Trump impersonation for me,
Yeah.
because that was really awesome. So you're
Donald
at
Trump.
Shabu Shabu. She lived in
Samnida.
Shanghai. Leslie lived in Shanghai for 3 years.
Yeah. So this is Korea. Shabu shabu is like Chinese cuisine of like hot pot. This Korean barbecue is is just very specifically like unique to Korea in that they just grill meat in a community setting on a table with these suction vents. They're all over. Restaurants here are just like, yeah, you can just go to any restaurant. There's thousands of them. Dining out culture is just much quicker and like, it's not like a decision to go out to eat. Like, are we going out to eat tonight? And we're gonna have a night out, family, like a special night at the Olive Garden. It's here. It's just like, oh, there's a restaurant everywhere, so let's go eat.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it's not like a decision. But Donald Trump, yeah. So I do a little. How's my sound coming? Because we got the meat.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, sounds really good.
Listen to this little ASMR. So Donald Trump, yeah, he's. I did. There's a okay. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect Donald Trump impersonation.
That's perfect. Like, I don't know how you do it, but it's like you channel him. Like he's like,
Well, it's easy to channel. It's easy to channel Donald. Let's be honest. It's because there's billions, if not millions, if not billions, of broadcasts of Donald Trump that we watch incessantly on our
Yeah.
mainstream social media. So
when you did that, I don't know, you were talking Korean. Let's see, if you were to order your meal in Donald Trump, how would that sound?
so here I did a video where they have soju, which is like their alcoholic drink here. So, well, so if he wants a soju, it says soju hanabyong, which is one bottle. Please, you say so. Chug it up.
It's funny already.
Yeah, so Trump spoke Korean. If he came to Korea, he wanted to be very diplomatic. He learned how to say hello. My name's Donald. You know, native is Donald Trump입니다.
I don't know why I like that so much, but
Yeah, so
I might just FaceTime you every now and then and go like, "Hey Dan, I'm in a bad mood. I need you to help me out."
yeah, right. And
So-
now I'm here at the top Korean barbecue, having samgyeopsal with cheese. Cheese. Americans, let's be honest, gave them the concept of cheese.
Oh man. Well,
Yeah.
if we needed it, so you didn't do if we have an audiobook where we need to do Donald Trump impersonation, we know who to call.
Well, mine and my audiobook, the author actually wrote a scene with Trump in there, and I did.
Oh, really?
I did the voice. Yeah.
That is so cool. So you should tell us about this audiobook because it looks very cool.
Yeah, sorry. So this is called ASMR, mukbang. I don't know if you're familiar, where people do close-up sounds of them eating. Sorry if it's disgusting, but
Oh.
it's trending. It's trending now to do like ASMR eating videos.
This is
very
hip.
popular.
Yeah.
Very popular in Korea.
You guys would have to pay for this ordinarily, but we're giving it to you for free. Dan chewing into the microphone.
Welcome to the mukbang. Mukbang means eating broadcast in Korean. Muk
Oh,
is
really?
to eat, and bang is broadcast. So like mukbang. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's where, if you hear mukbang, that's where it came from, Korean.
If I would have known, I would have gotten this sponsored. But
Yeah.
next
My
time.
mom thinks is that funny, Michelle? My mom thinks it's funny. Apparently, she thinks these comments must be delayed.
3 funnies.
It shouldn't take you that, yeah, 3. It shouldn't take you that long to laugh at my impersonation.
She's
It's a
like,
fantastic impersonation.
oh yeah, he needs affirmation. I better type some funny faces on
Yeah.
there.
Thank you, mother.
Yes, honey, it's
need it.
wonderful. You are the most talented and
Yeah,
the most
yeah.
handsome.
A billion times more handsome than my brother.
So what's the story on this book, Tooth for Tooth? Because it looks pretty cool. Let me pull that screen up. Because here, I'm gonna put this up. How come it doesn't show? I thought it was supposed to take us off, but it's not. It's just making me bigger. Hold on a sec here. We need to go the opposite direction and see if I can't get to that screen. Oh, there it is.
Whiskey broadcast.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point in time whiskey is like drinking too much whiskey is a problem.
Never.
I know I like it. I know I went through a lot recently, and
It's
If
never a
my
problem.
if Sheila's still watching, she knows. She's like, "You went through all of that Makers? It was a huge bottle." And now I'm digging into the good stuff, the Japanese stuff. So I don't know. It's not a problem until I admit it. But so anyway, tell me the story behind this book, because it looks a little scary actually.
Yeah, so this book is it's a part of a three-part series from Talion Publishing that I just started working with. Um, I'm working with a guy from the UK right now, but the writer is from Florida.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like an international project in that, it's being recorded in South Korea, edited and mastered in the UK, and it was written in not Orlando, but around that area in Florida.
Wow.
So written in Florida, recorded in Korea, mastered in the UK. So it's kind of a cool
Nice. Yeah.
digital journey the book is taking. It's a part of a three-part crime thriller series, and it's about families seeking revenge for things done wrong to loved ones in their family.
Wow.
And it's
Okay.
a very realistic portrayal of like the moral dilemma that someone would actually have to consider if something egregious happened to a family member, a crime, especially if that family member is related to a political official.
Oh, wow.
So the person committing the crime. So let's say that your daughter or son, something bad happened to them, not murder, but something bad happened to them, and the offender was the son or daughter of a political senator, You would would you seek revenge? Would you try to exact, and then you didn't get the justice you wanted from the system? How would you seek revenge on your own terms?
Yeah.
And if you did, does that spiral out of control into something that you did not originally intend in terms of getting involved in crimes that are maybe worse than you originally wanted to be involved in? So the series is actually pretty enthralling. And
that sounds like a really good a good premise for a book.
It's great
Because I think we all think about that. When you see somebody, I don't know. I don't know. I can't think of any specific examples off the top of my head of that happen. But I think we've seen it. Where you see that somebody did something and they because of who they are or who their parents were, they got off.
They get away with it.
With a slap on the wrist, or maybe they don't even do any jail time. Like that kid that who was that kid that did? He was drunk and he was driving drunk and killed somebody in his car, and his lawyer brought on some ridiculous defense, like his family was too wealthy, and jail would be too traumatic on him because he was just not used to living, like normal people. And and the defense, I think, worked, and it was outrageous. And I think that every single person who saw that can identify with that, with that idea. Like, justice better be swift, and justice better be fair, or else. Yeah, I mean, I can see, wanting to take that into your own hands.
Yeah, obviously, like, there's big national media attention on like other things for justice right now in a big kind of societal way, but this kind of takes a view on like what would the family personally do if justice wasn't met, and like how does that have a ripple effect on other families and people in their lives. And it takes like the chapters weave in and out of different storylines that all relate to the things that have been happening. You get it from the sheriff's point of view, you get it from the hitman's point of view, you get it from one.
Oh wow! Are you doing spoilers?
No spoilers?
Okay, your author's not going to be like, son of a bitch, stop. Okay,
no
good.
spoilers. You get it from the girl's point of view, who the crime commit, and then in the books, all the crimes are connected in the series, and I'm planning on doing book 3 in the series as well.
I saw that. Like when I looked for the artwork for Tooth for Tooth, there was another one called Eye for an Eye.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
So, yeah, that it really is cool, and the artwork is amazing on that story, on that book. When is this? Did you already finish your recording of this book, or are you still working on it?
So I finished the recording, the first pass, and the guy mastering it in the UK is just going through and giving me some small notes, things to
Okay.
change up, but for the most part it's done. And I'm going
Okay.
to be moving on to book 3.
Nice.
Yeah, so eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and then the third one, I don't know the title yet. I haven't asked, but it's going to be something for something.
So you
And
guys have to listen to Dan Lewis's work. He's relatively new to audiobooks, but is an accomplished, seasoned actor. And where did you go to? You went to acting school at a really fancy place, didn't you? I'm like I have zero acting experience whatsoever. I don't know why they let me do these books, but
it was fancy insofar as it put me in debt, a lot of debt.
yeah, there's that too.
I went to
But I mean, I think it is cool. I mean, you've had formal instruction in acting, and have really, you've paid your dues in the world of acting. I mean, you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. It's always easy to be hard on yourself as an actor. So like, I went to DePaul, the theater school at DePaul in Chicago, and it's like a conservatory where they train you pretty rigorously, and that's your life for the 4 years you're there with the same group of people, the same little family that you make, your class of admitted students, the same 20 people.
Yeah.
You have movement, voice, and speech, and acting class together for 4 years. So you become like a kind of a love-hate family in a drama school. Hey, that's Tony. Tony is editing and mastering the book from the UK over there.
Tony.
Italian publishing. He's written books himself. He's an author, photographer.
Okay.
So hey, Tony's joining at the.
Tony,
I don't know what time
are you?
is in the UK.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So it's 10 o'clock here. So in the UK it would be like what? You're 7 hours ahead, 6 or 7 hours ahead.
UTC or Greenwich. I'm very confused. I'm always a stupid American. I'm very confused about UTC. I think he's been 8 hours behind me, and 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's either up late drinking, or he's like really up and very disciplined. Up early and disciplined. So
yeah, Tony. See, he said the tagline is "What would you do?" Like it's
right.
It's kind of a realistic. When I was like started reading it, it's like, oh, I don't know if this is going to go far off into like crazy stuff in terms of unrealistic kind of moral dilemmas. But the authors, I mean, really toes that line well of like what would somebody realistically do if something happened to a family member and the person responsible wasn't getting justice. So it's honestly like the twists and the turns, like it's thrilling. And I didn't even have to work to like read I love doing character voices. That's like my thing. Donald. Oh, so Tony's here. So he listened to the chapter with Donald Trump, but he didn't see my mannerisms. So welcome. It's good to have you. It's good to have you here in South Korea. Wonderful country.
Yeah.
I got
Tony may or may not be here still watching this cool performance, but
he's here at 4 a.m.
4 a.m. So
which is probably a good hour to write books. The books he writes kind of like when I was first connected with him, it seemed kind of supernatural, a little spooky kind of books going on.
Back in the day, people used to wake up in the middle of the night and write and do things like they called it. I think they called it. You had your first sleep and then you had your second sleep, and because when they didn't have electric lights, if all you had was candlelight or lanterns, then it got dark and you were like, well, what do you want to do? So you'd go to bed, you'd do the hippity dippity, you couldn't read or anything, so you just might as well go to sleep. So if you're going to sleep at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, then you probably wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you'd be wide awake. And so people would get up and they would write in their journals, or they would go out to the backyard and they would chat with their neighbors, or they would wake
Well,
up the
it seems
missus
it seems much more productive nowadays than just kind of rolling over and taking in your timelines on your social medias. I think
yeah, you
it's
do
good
do
to.
thinking things, right? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think we've all kind of become inoculated with social media.
yeah. So
Oh yeah,
Tony liked your he likes
he's
your
talking
Trump.
about Trump. I know, contrary. Oh, there you go. First
Yeah.
cup of coffee for wow, man. Being 14 hours ahead, or depending on people's time schedules, you end up talking to people at the oddest hours. Uh, because
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm kind of, if someone's a night owl, then well, they're awake during the day here. I'm a night owl myself, so I'm awake during the day in the U.S., kind of evening-ish in the U.K.
Yeah.
But this is literally the opposite side of the earth. So
Yeah.
like I can't stop interspersing Trump
Yeah.
with my
This
chopsticks.
so this guy here, Charlie Prieto, is
Yeah, hey Charlie,
so he's a Facebook
nice to
friend of
meet
mine,
you.
but we've become really good friends. Like we never met in person, but he is just a really really cool guy, and he spent time in, I believe, Afghanistan, and he was a sapper when he was in the army,
Okay.
and sappers are. They're probably the craziest of the crazy. Those are the guys that
So
find the mines and they disarm the mines. And so I kind of it was pretty interesting. Like I got to know him while he was over, while he was over there, and then when he came back and working, we just kind of got to know each other. So Charlie's a really cool guy, and I really appreciate him walking in and saying hey. So Tony says, so he's got a trailer. So if you guys want to look in the comments, there's a trailer for J.K. Franco's Eye for Eye,
yeah,
and
so I for I is the first book. I didn't narrate that one, but the events that happen in there definitely are tied into the events of book two, and book two is tied into the events of book three.
very
So
cool.
yeah, um,
Yeah, I think that sounds like
it's
a fascinating book.
honestly,
And
it's like the thing that like for me like narrating is sometimes you know this, Troy, like when you read a book that's like you kind of like it's kind of hard to read, and maybe sometimes it can be a little wearing on you to read a book, but when the author and the writing is so good, it's like a treat. It's like a treat to be able to go into the studio and just like let the words just float out of your mouth, and let the author carry it, because
yeah, it's
I
when
love
you
the
come
writing. I love
yeah,
it.
when you come across a book that's I mean I know what you're saying. I mean I love reading for a living because I mean I've always loved reading. So yeah, I get to do that out loud and get paid for it is really cool. But every now and then you come across a book that is like so well written, where you can
Yeah.
feel yourself in the story. And I mean, it's like when he talks about a rainy, blustery night, you feel like you're in a rainy, blustery night, and the way that they describe
Specific,
things,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it really
This author is
is.
very specific. So
Yeah,
specific,
it
like
really
there's
is a
one
treat.
one line I like that. I hope this is okay, Tony, and no spoilers, but I really want to share just one line from the book that I think was my favorite description. He was talking about a guy scuba diving, and like a scuba instructor floating through the water, like really like a professional. And he said the scuba instructor effortlessly floated through the water like a jellyfish on Xanax.
Huh.
Yeah, man, I like
Huh.
specificity like that. Like that was
Yeah.
my favorite line, because I have experience being a jellyfish, not taking Xanax, right? So I get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I was like, oh man, wow, like things like that, specificity in the
Yeah.
writing, like that just makes the imagery so crystal clear,
Yeah.
that it's just like it floats. It just floats,
Yeah.
and all you have to do is just read the text, and the
Yeah.
characters are
Those books.
a different
Yeah.
thing. That
They
I
float.
put a spin on the characters, but like the
Yeah.
Donald, when I read the fact that Donald Trump is in this book, I thought it was going to be a generic president from Time XYZ or fictional president, but then I read orange hair, and
Yeah. So you pretty much
face, and I
knew.
was like, oh my god, it's Trump, and I
Yeah.
was like, all right, time to get into Trump mode, and then go back into narrating. Time to do
Yeah.
the Trump voice and back to narrating. So it's
I've always said, like, being a narrator is like the coolest job. It's better than, and I'd like to get your opinion on this. And by the way, I hope I pronounced your name right, Nathani?
Nathaniel.
Nathani? Yeah. So Nathaniel, we'll get back. We'll get to your question. I'm not gonna. I don't want you to think we're ignoring you, but the cool thing, and I'd like to get your opinion on this, Dan, because you're a real actor. Is when you're narrating a book, you get to do all the parts. You get to be the narrator, you get to be the hero, you get to be the heroine, you get to be the the villain. I mean, all of these side characters, these color characters. You get to do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah, you're an actor too. You get to do the same thing I get to do. You just get to
it's
do
a
it
blast.
from the comfort of your studio. Troy, like your work's great too, and that
Oh,
smooth
thank you.
velvety voice to put in to boot. Yeah, no, but to get to your, I guess what will be your question is, what's it? How'd you get in? Well, sorry. keep
Yeah, so
going.
basically that, and they do kind of lead into it. Like you have experience as an actor on camera and on stage, and so you then went from that to being an audiobook narrator, where it's like, okay, so you don't have the advantage of being able to be on stage and show people your expressions and do your gesturing and things like that. It's all just your voice that you have to use to convey the story. So what was that like, going into that, and to get to Nathan's question, how did that happen? How did you get into doing narrating from being an on camera and on stage actor into getting to narrate?
Yeah, the story, it's actually kind of an interesting story, I guess, if I want to make this story. Also, for those just joining, the food chewing, sorry, it's purposeful. It's called a mukbang, ASMR, ASMR sounds of chewing noise. It's actually a popular thing in Korea. So I got into narrating.
Thank you,
I was
Nathan, by
living,
the way.
I was living in LA. To answer your question, Nathany, I guess S. Serrano.
Nathany?
I'm trying my Spanish pronunciation. There's some Spanish in this book as well. Luckily, I speak Spanish. Well, my grammar is kind of faltering, but so one of the things that got me into narrating, I was living in LA and I was kind of frustrated with where my career was going, and it wasn't going well in terms of like getting work. So I was getting some work, but it was the quintessential move to LA story. And okay, let me focus on this story. There's more comments coming in. So I ended up recording. I just took a microphone, $20 microphone from Amazon, and went into a closet and recorded an excerpt from a book called Ishmael, which is like a philosophical book on like the nature of humanity and like what it is to be human. So it was kind of like a philosophical fictional book about a gorilla who can speak, and he starts imparting philosophical wisdom on the protagonist. So I just read my favorite excerpt from that book with a microphone. I put my finger in front of my mouth for plosives, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And someone listened to that clip after I put it on ACX, and they said, "Hey, would you like to narrate for me?" And I said, "Okay." And it turned out that he actually paid me a rate, and it wasn't the best rate, but he sent me consistent work. And through me kind of grudging through kind of like, lower paying work. And I really didn't realize at the time that I was making less than I should have been.
Yeah.
Kind of grudging through the lower paying work and working my way up, learning how to edit at least a little bit. And, I still have work to do in my editing skills, but, I learned the basics of how to do it. And from there, I decided, you know what, I don't need to be in LA anymore. I can narrate from anywhere. So
yeah, now there you are in South Korea narrating. Yeah, narrating
so
books.
I got into it because I wanted to act, but I wanted to do it on my terms in a closet rather than being on like auditioning constantly, getting 90% rejections. And then if you do get, like, I was on Chicago PD and Chicago Fire as like a co-star recurring at one point in my life, and like even then, it's like extremely controlled, and like you have your script, you have your makeup, you feel kind of frozen, like there's no artistic expression, which is the opposite of what I learned at theater school, which is like go out on stage and express yourself fully. And like, so even in the TV film world, they have a certain agenda that they're trying to get across with their scripts. So that was limiting too. So, being a narrator, you kind of have your own agency to do what you want in terms of being imaginative with the character. So I got into it. That's how I got into it. Nathany, that's how I got into it in terms of like just out of frustration. And Yeah.
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 Charlie mentioned ASMR, and he and I are talking about doing an ASMR project. I'm not gonna spill the beans because who knows if certain somebody's watching, but we're gonna do a really cool ASMR project that
Yeah. Nice.
yeah, it's gonna be cool. I can't say anything about it, but it's gonna be a blast.
Okay.
So why South Korea? Why what are you doing out there?
Okay. So the story continued. I left LA. I was a bum living with my parents in their basement while I was deciding what to do after leaving my traditional acting career.
Yeah.
And my dad lives up in Montreal, and I was crashing with my father in his country home in Quebec. And in Montreal, I met a South Korean and friends, and
Hmm.
they suggested I teach English in Korea, and I was like, you know what, whatever, okay, sounds good.
Hmm.
I'll just set up a studio there, I guess. And I applied to be a teacher, English teacher, which got me my visa, and I came
Man.
here as an English teacher originally, and now I've been here for a year, just on an in-between visa, just
Hmm.
hanging out, deciding if I want to study at university Korean classes or
Hmm.
teach adults again in September. But right now, I'm kind of in between that. Just yeah. So I originally came here to teach English just to see what it was like, and
Yeah.
then I got a part-time job teaching English where I recorded as well as taught.
Nathany. That's how we pronounce her name. She just broke it down for us.
Oh, Nathany,
So
nice,
thank you, Nathany.
nice.
It's a sweet
Nathany,
name. I don't think I've ever heard your I don't think I've ever heard that name before. So that's pretty cool. It's because of the food. Oh, yeah. He says you're not doing ASMR. You're just eating. So all right, let me go back through and make sure that I'm not missing any questions or anything. Tony said something cool about you. He said
oh
your first
nice.
test read was so impressive that puts you on the top of the pile. So nice. Well, that is nice to see. Like when somebody. So
Yeah, I appreciate
obviously
it, Tony.
Tony, he's a sound technician. He's also
Oh,
an
thank you so
author
much.
and probably an actor as well, I assume, or does some acting as well. So
Yeah.
when you hear something like that from somebody of his caliber, that really is a nice compliment.
Yeah, I
So
really appreciate it. It's been fun working with Tony. Like at first, I was kind of antsy to know about the book, so I was kind of pushing for an answer. I may have annoyed him. I was like,
mhm.
"Hey, what's up? What's up?" At first, he
Yeah.
thought I was like some crazy guy, like you know. So it was fun to be able to kind of work through the process and like be collaborative about it. And like even now, like
Mm.
he's going to teach me some things about editing and mastering, which I really appreciate. And because
Very cool.
I need some work there on the technical side, and even still like improving performance, pauses, things like that. Always learning and growing. And
Yeah.
I watch the videos of Scott Brick, and trying to get
Yeah, he's a great.
some.
He's yeah. Scott Brick is a
Even
is a yeah, great narrator.
I even listen to you, Troy, like your samples to kind of to see
Oh,
your pacing and like your style, like just
yeah.
learning. It's fun to be able to like learn because you got that smooth. My voice is obviously much different from your whiskey coated, smooth, beautiful, golden
Yeah. What?
voice, man.
Yeah, I think it's yeah. If you were casting I don't know, like the vampire, like a younger vampire for a book, I think I would cast Dan, right? Because you've got that hip, cool younger guy sound.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
vampire for teen,
yeah. If
vampire
you're
teenage book.
yeah, if you were
No,
if
I'm
you were
joking.
casting the vampire's dad, that might be me.
Now,
But
son,
yeah, so well,
funny.
you know what? I know that I don't want to take up all of your lunchtime, but I did want to get some time with you to just to see what it's like in Korea, because I thought it would be really cool for people to see what that's like, being an American in Korea, looking
Yeah,
looking
I
at what's
mean,
going on in
it's
the U.S. From where you are. Yeah, it would be a pretty cool perspective, and so.
I can I can do like just a little camera flip for people here just to see.
Mhm.
Somi doesn't K-pop hat down yet. She wants my girlfriend's. She's gonna hide. This is Somi. She's wonderful. We've been
Hi,
together for a
Somi.
year, and she's
Yeah. So
she's
yeah, let me
been
tell you.
she's
Let
been
me tell you
my
something a
yeah.
little bit about Somi. She is kind
Oh,
of like the star behind the star because Dan is.
Troy's talking about you.
There was a period of time that, and I'm sure she can't hear, but maybe once you guys are watching this later on, where so during COVID, they were at a point where they could not be together because of they lived across town from each other, and at a certain point in time they couldn't go to to be near each other. And
Oh man,
Dan,
his son's
Somi, you
traffic.
need to know this. This is a message for you. Dan was
Message for you coming
pathetic.
through, son.
He was pathetic. The guy was like, I mean, he was just all he would talk about is you. And so you need to know that he's a mess without you. So it's good
Yeah.
that you're there because he's pretty well put together now. He's like really cool and he's like, oh yeah, I'm all right. I got it going on. But when he was
No, I was a
when he
mess.
couldn't see you, he was miserable. So
Yeah, living in our studios. It's normal to live in studios in Korea. So she lives like a couple kilometers south of me. So, but at the time we didn't know like the virus, like what was going on. So, but it turns out that Korea was handling it really well, and that's
yeah.
why there were so many cases. So
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I'm glad that it worked out. I think that we're hopefully. I don't know. Now it's like everything changes, but we've gotten to the point where I think that in New York they have for the first time since it started, no deaths due to COVID
oh
over the
yeah,
last day or two. So it sounds like in New York where they were hit the hardest, it's starting to at least flatten so that it's not so
and
bad.
you're in St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah,
So how's it in Missouri? Missouri?
Missouri's cool. So St. Louis was locked down pretty well.
Yeah.
All the restaurants. There was the people. I think they were asking people not to go out, and if they went out to be sure that they were wearing a mask. In St. Charles, where I am, which is it's not a suburb of St. Louis, but it's kind of an adjacent town. I think we're spread out far enough that we don't have to worry as much about it. But
Yeah.
we we go out. Half the people would be wearing masks. We always had hand sanitizer with us, and we were always wiping our shopping carts, and we wouldn't go out unless we absolutely had to. And the restaurants we tried to do in our little town here, we tried to support our local businesses. So we would say, okay, we're going to go out once a week,
Thanks.
or as if we were going out, and we'll order curbside pickup from one of the local restaurants, and that's kind of all we could do. There was
Yeah.
one restaurant that was. They had a pretty cool idea. They did things like they did raffles where you could like win you could enter a raffle to win 4 or 5 bottles of whiskey, which I didn't win, and I still think it was a fix, but whatever. But they did raffles, and the proceeds from the raffle just went to benefit only the servers and the restaurant workers, so that they had something coming in. So it was
Nice.
it was difficult to see. It was hard to see these
Yeah.
these small businesses just shut
And I saw
down.
you post on Facebook. You're going to offer a guy you worked with in radio for a while, services for free because you being a good guy, altruistic Troy, love it. Offered a guy some free services because he's struggling a little bit with his radio broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with everybody, but because I mean, I do have
Right,
to.
right.
I do have to make a living. But the I knew that he was having a really hard time, and
Yeah.
so I thought, well, okay. So this guy, I had been working for him since about 2000. So, and this is a client of mine in Latvia. But he's
Latvia?
yeah. and he had been. It's really cool. So
I
he,
love the global nature of like
I know, yeah, it's
the,
really cool. So yeah, so this guy hired me way back in the day, and what they do is it's called Hits Radio, and it's
nice.
and it's
Oh my
really
god.
cool the way actually this their format is like something that you've never seen here in the States. What they do is they take like I think what they do is they take the top charts in Germany and Czechoslovakia and Russia and the United States
Oh my
and
god.
the UK, and they mix this up in this like kick-ass mosh. It's like it's so, and they have these, they have all these DJs. It's like nightclub DJs spinning the tunes all the way through the thing. And so what they do is like in Latvian, their voiceover guy would say, coming up next on, coming up this hour on European Hit Radio. Then they would have me come in and say, you know, I don't know, whatever, like the different art. Like they would have me do title and artists for like the biggest hip hop artists, and then like country music artists, and you know, who's the girl the woman from Scotland? I Dreamed a Dream. I don't remember. She was
Susan
huge.
Boyle.
Suzanne Boyle. Yeah, was it Suzanne Boyle?
I think something Boyle. Yeah.
Yeah, something Boyle. But anyway, so we like you never knew what you were going to be, what you were going to be hearing, but it was really cool. And so, this he had been hiring me to do this week in, week out for 20 years. And, I look at it that way and I'm like, wow, this is like my longest employer ever. So when he was in trouble, I thought, well, that would be, something I can do. And,
That's
I
awesome,
can,
man.
yeah. So I thought it was a,
I didn't realize it was Latvian hits.
mhm.
Like you're, oh my god.
Oh, it's amazing. When Sheila and I got married, we planned our honeymoon in Europe, and we did a really cool European tour we started in Munich, Germany, and then we went to Bratislava and Slovenia and Budapest and Vienna, and I'm trying to think of all these different countries that we went to. Salzburg, and I'm sure I'm missing some. But anyway, when I went to when we landed in Budapest, I've got a client out there. Same story. I kind of
Yeah.
like do the title and artist of different songs for them. And so I got to spend time with the program director of the radio station that hired me. So it was
Nice.
really cool. I mean, it's nice. It really is a small world. I mean, as evidenced by you and I sitting here talking. I'm drinking my whiskey at the end of the night, and you're
Eating
you're
Korean
eating Korean barbecue. So
in Korea. Like, yeah, I
so
mean, it's a wild world. I mean, what's great is like, yeah, the whole virtual connectivity thing. Like, it's not ideal, but it does have benefits that,
hmm
it does. Like, this is great. Like,
yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, the fact that like we can do this so easily, like,
hmm
it's amazing.
Yeah,
But
it really is cool. I mean, here we are sitting here talking real time, and I like
and I
that.
wanted to, and again, for me to reiterate, anybody who thinks it's weird that I'm eating for this broadcast, that was planned.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I wanted I wanted the people to get an idea of like what it was like, what you were doing, and what like a regular day in South Korea is like, in
And you
Seoul.
can see that, you can see the goods here.
hmm
Nice.
It looks really good. Yeah,
Yeah, you
I
just put
like it.
some. This Ichado. This is a chain, but in
hmm
Korean they say franchise. It's a franchise restaurant.
Okay.
So these are all over the city or the country.
Okay.
Um, well, South Korea is only the size of Ohio, actually. So I
Wow.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
but
funny to think about that too. Yeah.
there's 55 million people here, though. So,
hmm
but this is like one of my favorite. This is like my favorite restaurant. My favorite Korean barbecue restaurant.
Nice.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it
Chadol.
looks.
It's called Chadol, which is is a family name and Chadol is a type of beef.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, lunchtime here. So you take some rice. You got Koreans are really into cheese now, so your grilled cheese
Yeah.
and a little samgyeopsal, which is means belly, beef belly, American right here. Migoop, which
Okay.
is American. American.
Okay.
You put it all together on like a sandwich. Dip it in any one of the various sauces, and then you just take a bite in. I think it would be a little too grotesque if I bit into this on camera.
That's a big bite.
Mm,
You did it though. Look at you, you
I
big
know.
American gobbling all the food
Yeah.
up.
My big American guy. Like I do have a bigger. Westerners, stereotypically speaking, that are here, like we do kind of have like bigger body types. It's very weird.
Hmm.
No, I don't want to speak about anything sensitive because when you talk about like ethnicities and things here, it's a very different conversation than it is in the U.S. It's in the U.S. it's very sensitive, and here people are just much more frank.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So it's very interesting.
So yeah, so they can laugh at like maybe so you're like a bigger guy compared to most of the people who live out there, right?
Right. So for example, when I went to the dentist was speaking to my girlfriend, explaining what was going on with my teeth, and he was like, "Your boyfriend, he chews like a truck."
Oh,
But I think it was like low key, like he chews like a big Western guy, like
yeah, that's funny.
it felt like that, and I was like, he's like speaking in Korean, and he was like, and I was like, what's that? What do I do?
I can imagine you said, "I do
Yeah.
not."
Yeah, no, I was like, yeah,
Do you-
I was like, I do.
Do you feel like a big
Touche.
lumbering klutz in the area?
Me, I'm kind of like my body type is kind of big, and I've gained weight since being here because I've just, not.
Well, you haven't
doing
been
well.
able to exercise since since like what, January?
Yeah, I haven't been exercising. Like,
But
the gyms are open here, but you have to wear a mask, and I don't know.
oh, that's got to be hard. Have you ever seen those guys who wear like those ultimate trainer guys? They put on oxygen deprivation masks while they
Yeah.
run so that they can like train. It's like it simulates training in high altitude.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's
Yes, that's
kind of freaks
ridiculous.
me out.
This will be like the so maybe if people who go to the gyms now wearing those masks are going to be like super healthy when they it doesn't work in the end. We're all going to die, right? So
Yeah, I mean,
what's that?
we're all gonna die. This guy makes you feel better.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, they have little like this is the little beef wrap that you get, and like he's made into a character.
Oh,
There you go.
no happy cow parts.
So you can say kombe, or jan, which is cheers. Jan is everybody who wants to learn some Korean.
Okay.
I'm studying right now, so I should know way more. But if people want to learn
Okay.
Korean, say hello as 안녕하세요.
Oh, say it again.
안녕하세요.
Amyonghase.
Yo, 안녕하세요.
Oh, amyonghaseo.
안녕하세요 is hello.
Amyonghaseo.
Yeah, 안녕하세요, and then if you say goodbye, it's 안녕히 계세요 or 안녕히 가세요. Depends on who's leaving, who's staying.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your name in Korean, Troy, is Tidoy.
Tideroy?
Tidoy. Yeah, Tidoy. So they have Konglish
Oh,
is a big
Tidoy.
thing here.
Oh, that's cool.
Loan words. They loan a lot of words from English and they just put it within Korean phonology. So, for example, there's so many examples. What? Kombe? Coffee is copy. Copy is cafe is coffee shop. They call cafes coffee shop. Coffee shop.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
There's so many crazy examples that like cheese is cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So they put it within Korean phonology.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can do it. Cheese.
I don't know why I like that so much.
What's another Konglish word taken from English, my native language? What else? Cheese. What? God, there's hundreds of Konglish words. Ice cream.
ice cream, Hannah Giselle. Donald wants an ice cream.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So yeah, nice.
All right,
Whiskey
brother.
is whiskey, and there's just so many Pongish
There,
words.
is whiskey? Did they say whiskey and whiskey? Or they say whiskey in Korea?
So whiskey is, our pronunciation is whiskey, but in Korean you have to, based on the phonology and the letters, whiskey. It's different.
Okay.
Little
They
bit.
would probably, but if I went up there and said whiskey, they would say, okay, we know what
Maybe.
you're trying to say.
One cool example is like fork, for example. We have the F consonant. They don't have the F consonant, so they substitute it for their P sound. So for fork, they say poku.
Really? Wow.
Poku.
That's interesting.
Yeah, knife is naipu.
Yeah, when you hear somebody speaking and it sounds like they're not able to grasp what you're trying to say, like that sound might not even exist in their language, so it's difficult for them
Right.
to.
The phonetics, there's some, but a lot of phonetics do exist in Korean that exist in English, but the ones that don't, they just find substitutions. Like, yeah. So like naipu, like V's become love becomes B's, or like F's become P's. Yeah. So.
Well, that's very cool. I really enjoyed spending a little time with you, and
yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, I love, and I hope we're gonna collab in the future on some things, and
yeah,
great.
definitely. I think that like as far as like narrating books go, duet narrations are becoming a bigger thing where you get to do like where like I will play my part, you will play your part, and we'll do that throughout the chapters. And I think that's kind of cool. Like it's an editing nightmare. I wish Tony was still here because he could testify to that. But it is kind of cool because it kind of like it becomes almost like a play because you're doing your part, I do my part, and then there's other characters as
like
well.
staged, like radio plays are becoming a big thing. Podcasts, like radio podcasts and things like that are becoming a big thing now too. So
yeah, I think those are pretty cool. I did a radio play, like a live radio play. Actually, I did this a couple of times for a couple of radio stations, or for a radio station that I worked for. We would do like a Christmas radio play, which was really cool because like the people on the radio station, the air personalities played the parts, and then I was the sound engineer, obviously. So anytime there was like a when there was lightning, I had to hit a this metal thing, and it would go.
oh my.
And then if there was like the knock on the door, I would have to. I had a prop door that I would knock on, and it was pretty cool. It was nerve wracking though because you have to like keep up with the keep up with the keep up with the script, and
It's like a drum set. What's your right hand doing? What's your left hand doing?
And I'm like, I get distracted really easy, and so I would like be listening to the play, and I'd be listening, watching the actors doing their thing, and I'd be like, I would start watching it, and then realize, oh shit, I have to hit the door, or I have to do the doorbell, the doorbell, or ring the telephone, or whatever it happened to be.
My mother said, Michelle Danner.
Oh, okay, yeah. So Michelle likes that idea. She likes those duet books.
Are you speaking about duet, mother? Two editors, yeah? Two narrators?
Yeah, I'm assuming, right. Yeah, so it's like two narrators. And
within the same chapter, yeah.
Okay, so that's Julie. So Julie says she likes listening to those old-time radio shows. I like listening to those too. And so I'm assuming that your mom is saying that two actors doing the parts together, for the book. And it is. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. It's like
even because it's kind of like we have to socially distance and all that. So long as you can edit it in with the same kind of room tone quality, it seems as if they're in the same room together.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to apologize. It is late. You should. You gotta. It's early here. I'm awake and.
Yeah, Mom. We need to. We need to get together. We'll do like a Netflix episode or something. It's about time for me. It's 10:39. I think I have time for like so my wife loves forensic files,
Okay.
and so we watch forensic files together. Well, I sleep while she watches forensic files, and or like we'll watch like a Better Call Saul or a Breaking Bad or something
Oh
like
my
that.
God,
So
Better Call Saul. Have you seen this whole series?
yes, and it sucked because I didn't realize that the series was. I didn't know that I didn't have any more episodes after the last one.
To be
So
honest,
it
that's my favorite. It's my favorite show.
yeah.
It's like Better
You
Call
watch
Saul.
better.
Yeah,
You watch Breaking Bad though too, right?
of course.
Yeah.
I get my characters. Sometimes I use characters from shows that I watch for help for some of my characters in books.
Mm-hmm.
So like Mike kind of talks like this, and he's like, "All
Yeah.
right, Walter." Like, this,
Oh,
you know.
I've stolen characters from Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
I've done.
Jesse Pinkman. Yo, Magnets.
Yo, bitch.
Mr. White.
Yeah. Yo, Mr. White, what are we gonna do today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get character inspiration from like explain yourself, Gustavo Fring. Like for audiobooks, it's great. Like
Oh
their
yeah,
cadence,
definitely.
their personality, their actions. Like Jesse.
Yeah, those are really. I do that too. I like sometimes I'll
Thank
you know
you,
when I'm trying to put
Aunt
together a
Buzzy.
character, like I imagine the character in my mind, and I'll think like if I was going to cast somebody for this character, who would I do? And
Right.
when I think about that, I like think okay, cool. And it's not like I don't do an impersonation of the character. I just kind of like think about if I was like that person, like
Yeah.
one character I did was like, oh, this guy seems like a Gary Sinise kind of guy.
Right.
He's like really
not,
cool and
not like a caricature, but kind of like in their ballpark. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I knew Michael Rooker, who went to the theater school to Paul. Actually, he
Mm-hmm.
played he was the blue guy in Guardians of the Galaxy with the mohawk that killed people.
oh yeah,
So I kind of use like Michael Rooker, kind of like yo,
yeah,
kind of has that kind of southern drawl that's really raspy.
Mm-hmm.
You use that for like a voice, in a book.
yeah,
Like Michael Rooker style. So there's one character in this book that I do kind of talks like Michael Rooker a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah. So like using I love the character work. That's my favorite part of audio.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite part too. Like when I have a character that, like, I don't have to do the whole book with that character, but like he comes in or she comes in, I like doing that. Like I'll model them. Like,
Yeah.
there was I did a character a little bit back with this gangbanger guy, and I just like decided, okay, I'm gonna be Snoop Dogg, and so
Yeah.
I was Snoop Dogg, and did.
Yeah, I love. It's great. It's like I'm trying to think of who else I pulled for this book. I did specifically. I don't know. I tried to pull Mike a little bit, and
Mhm.
yeah, just different inspirations. I use Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad characters though for this book. I like different inspiration from different characters for because there's so many characters in a 10-hour book, 10.5-hour book that you have to start
Oh,
pulling
yeah.
from somewhere.
Mhm.
So yeah, so
Yeah, that's cool. Well,
Yeah,
those are
right,
my
so-
stomping grounds. So Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are both in Albuquerque, New Mexico. That's where I was born and raised. So
really.
oh yeah.
Oh,
So I
man.
watched those. I watched those scenes, and I'm like, I know exactly where that is. And Jesse's
awesome.
Jesse's house. I used to hang around in that area. It's really funny. That's a where Jesse's house was like a really nice neighborhood. They have this every year they do what they call Luminaria tours. And that's luminarias are. It's basically a little brown paper sack filled with sand, and you put a
Oh, yeah,
candle
yeah,
in
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Right.
and it's a shitload of work. Like you better be a damn dedicated dad to do luminarias, because I did that for a while. Like when I lived in Arizona, I was like, I'm gonna show these people what luminarias look like, and
Yeah.
so. It takes forever. You got to fill like 1,000 bags with sand, put a little bit of sand on each one, and then you have to put a candle in each one of those damn bags, and then you have to light each one of those damn candles without setting the bag on fire. And so yeah, it's a real pain in the ass. But anyway, so the Jesse Pinkman house there's Luminaria tours in those neighborhoods, and these people just go all out. Like they put together these amazing they line their sidewalks, and they put them up on their walls, and they put them up on top of the houses,
Yeah.
and it's just really amazing. It's a beautiful, it's a beautiful thing. But I mean, it must take at least 5 hours every night to light every single one of those bags again, and then you have to replace the
Well, maybe-
candles and light the candles again.
Maybe Netflix can help with that now, because Netflix moved a major part of their production to Albuquerque.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh no, yeah, Netflix
Okay.
opened up, I believe, their main recording studio is now in Albuquerque.
That's right. They built a
It's massive.
you know.
Like it's huge.
You know what? I have like this certain talent. You know how Midas could like touch things and they would turn into gold? Well, I had the
Yeah.
opposite. Well, it was kind of like a different touch. When I would leave, good things would happen to wherever I left. And that's just one example. So like I lived in Albuquerque. After I left Albuquerque, Nathanie wants to hear she wants to hear Snoop Dogg.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about what Snoop Dogg would say, other than like the lyrics of ain't no other way to play the game the way I play. Cut so much you thought I was a DJ. But that's a terrible. I need to get a little more
He's a
better
little
at the
nasally.
character. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I left Albuquerque, and they build this tremendous studio, this soundstage studio, where they're doing all these like on location filming things for
Yeah.
Albuquerque. So I missed out on that opportunity. Then so I moved to Phoenix, Arizona, right? Phoenix, Arizona, the Phoenix Cardinals, it started out as the Phoenix Cardinals, the football Cardinals, and then became the Arizona Cardinals. They sucked all 8 years that I lived in Phoenix. And while I'm in Phoenix, and the Arizona Cardinals are sucking, that's when Dick Vermeil and the St. Louis Rams win the Super Bowl. Okay. Next year, I moved to St. Louis. Dick Vermeil's gone. He goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Rams suddenly suck, and then the Phoenix Cardinals or the Arizona Cardinals go to the Super Bowl, and the Coyotes make it to the playoffs, and the Diamondbacks win the World Series, and that was because I left. And
What
and
about
it
when
was-
you moved to? What about when you moved to St. Louis?
Well,
Now the Rams
luckily,
are- the Rams are gone.
it took me a while. It took a while for them to get used to me and start playing well, but they really didn't do well for the first maybe 5 years that I lived here in St. Louis. But then they
Yeah.
started to do well. But we did have a difficult time against the Red Sox in that World Series in what was it, 2005? But then they won after that. So that's good. And then the Blues won the Stanley Cup. So I think maybe my
Nice.
curse is ending. But for the longest time, nothing good happened.
The Blues.
until-
Did the Blues win the Stanley Cup? You said.
They did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They killed it last year. Yeah, it was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
The whole town was just like, this is the
Yeah, I was in
St. Louis is the
Chicago.
best sports town.
I studied in Chicago, so I lived
Yeah.
in Chicago during Stanley Cup championships 2 and 3,
Mm-hmm.
and the Cubs World Series. I lived
Oh,
like
wow.
in Wrigleyville for the Cubs.
Oh,
World.
nice.
I worked
Wow,
at
I
a
bet
bar.
that was crazy.
The night they won, I worked at a bar. It was
Mm-hmm.
nuts.
I bet that was a crazy time.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
So
All right. Well, Dan, it's what time is it out here? It's 10:48 here. So we've been on this FaceTime for about an hour and a half.
roundabouts an hour and 20.
Yeah, around about that time. And your Aunt Marie is going to grab a midnight snack. So because she's sitting
Yeah.
there watching you eating your barbecue. So
That's right.
and I think I'm gonna sign off the whiskey and go find my beautiful wife.
Yeah. So the book Tooth for Tooth by J.K. Franco.
Yeah, let me pull that up real quick. Oh, there's your handsome mug. Let's look at
For my skinnier days, I got to lose weight again.
you're doing great. You look fine.
Big beefy guy.
Your girlfriend loves you, so She she loves you cuddly. So
Does she?
we're thinking.
Does she?
Knock on wood. She does.
Yeah.
So
Nice
yeah,
job.
Tooth for Tooth is the name of the book, and the author's name is
J.K.
J.K. Franco, right?
Yeah, not J.K. Rowling. J.K. Franco.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's I think that's it sounds like a really fascinating book.
It's really good. I really, really like reading it, and just the twists and turns are great.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, I'm on for book 3. That's the plan for now. But I'm doing book 3, which
Yeah.
there'll be some continuity with the characters. We haven't made anything official yet, but that's the plan for now. So
Okay.
the character voices that I keep, all the characters personalities that I have for book 2, if they're in book 3, then I'll obviously bring them in there. And I love again, I love doing the character voices. That's my thing. That's my thing, doing the character
your
voices,
thing,
especially
yeah.
Donald. Which I was shy to do it at first. Now I'm a little addicted to doing Donald. It's quite concerning.
You're just gonna drop into Donald every now and then.
Just gonna drop,
Yeah.
just speaking to my regular voice, and then just switch it up a tiny bit.
Yeah, I need to work on my Snoop Dogg accent. I think that I was sucking so bad on the Snoop Dogg. I'm totally uninspired. But
Thank you, Mother. And
But-
yeah, hopefully I can
Mom's
get a
gonna buy the
copy.
book.
I can get a mom copy.
Mhm.
We'll see. When ACX decides to, they have they still got the promo codes going.
yeah.
So,
So when this book goes live, I would love
know
to. I'd love to get you back. Whenever it does. I mean, we never know. We never know when Audible's going to.
we never know when QC. Yeah.
Yeah, we never know when they're going to release it. Sometimes, I mean, it'll take a month. Sometimes, other times, like I just finished a book a week ago, and we put it in, and it was on sale by the day after. Like I did a FaceTime live with. It was a blast.
Yeah.
Ali Martinez and Mo Maybe, and Stephanie Bentley.
Yeah.
Or Stephanie Rose, I'm sorry, that's her reading name, and we spent about an hour on the on a Facebook Live. We were just planning on like celebrating the ebook release. The next day it was on live at Audible. So
Snap.
so that was really cool. Marie, it's really nice to meet you too. I really enjoyed meeting Dan's aunt
She's
and
great. Good time.
aunts and mom.
Yeah, man, this is awesome. I love this. Let's do this again, and maybe I can switch up the location to maybe something not eating, but like it'll still be summer when the book is released. I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe I can go somewhere of some natural beauty in Korea and make that the backdrop, a nice quiet.
That would be cool. Yeah. So you did a video, and you guys were I don't know exactly where you were, but it was so cool. They were doing like marching, and you were like in this big courtyard. So
Oh yeah.
was-
That's what palace was that called? Somi? The main palace, Gyeongbokgung Palace. Yeah, that's like the main palace, and behind that palace is the Blue House. That's where the president lives. In the Blue
oh
House,
wow, that's
not the
right.
White
Yeah.
House.
So I would love to see that. So maybe when your book goes live, we can. And if I promise not to keep you for, I mean, this is I've kept you almost for an hour and a half. So
That's
next
great,
time
man.
I'll
It's beautiful
promise not to
subject.
make it so long, but we'll maybe we could get together and talk about this some more, and then like post links of the book when it goes live.
Yeah, we'll do that, and like I can in the background I'll work harder to make a better background. Maybe it's some traditional Korean architecture. I guess.
Okay.
Whatever. Yeah.
That sounds
But
good.
This is traditional Korean. Yeah. Well, it's not really the traditional food. I mean, barbecue is
Right.
the
American.
cheese and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like, when the book drops, and oh yeah, right. That's what I was gonna say, because I guess I have to do this. I hate doing this. I hate like doing self promo, but I launched a Facebook page I haven't been paying enough attention to. So
Oh,
people are free to follow me on that, and then my website.
let me type this while you. I'm going to type it
Yeah.
in the comments. What's what is it called? Or what? Like what's
my Facebook?
yeah. It's just Dan
Daniel-
Lewis narrator, or
Daniel James Lewis audiobook. I may need to switch my marketing game and make it a shorter title.
I bet you if they, yeah, if they typed in a search for Daniel James Lewis,
Audiobook narrator.
okay, yeah, maybe you should make it a little shorter, like
Yeah,
Daniel.
I need to shorten that up, and then I also on my website, which is like the main place that I'm going to try to run things. That there's going to be a Daniel Not Day Lewis fan club.
Daniel,
Yeah.
say that again.
Daniel Not Day Lewis fan
Daniel
club.
Not Day Lewis. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Daniel Not Day Lewis fan club, where I'll start releasing the books that I'm doing, and maybe you can do some promos with codes for people who sign up and subscribe. And
Oh, that'd be cool.
I have a little email list going, so there's that. And then I also write my own, because I've read so many books that I'm starting to write my own.
Oh, you do
So
writing,
write-
really? Oh, wow. Well, I admire you for that.
I'm trying to write and then then record what I write to do little freebie giveaways, like 15-minute pops.
I think that's
books,
cool.
Short stories for subscribers that I'm toying with. So on my website, which is djlactor.com.
Okay.
DJ, I hate plugging myself.
You are such a
one must-
whore. Hold on a second. I have to write this down. DJL. What is that? DJL actor?
Yeah, actor.com. Yeah, but one must Troy in this.
No, I get it. .com. Yeah, DJLactor.com.
Yeah.
I hope you get a really good stalker.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, no, I don't. The thing is I kind of like being behind the scenes and laying low, but you kind of have to promote yourself in this wild world of social media and marketing. And
Yeah, definitely. I think it's important. If I don't know, you love what you do, and so when it's you like it when people get a chance to listen to the stuff that you're doing. So
yeah, I hope to transcend it and make it not about me, but about giving people the experience of a great story. Really, the story is so great that I
So Nathany is
great.
is a reviewer blogger, so she might review.
So it's not up yet. Yeah, no, I've been slacking hard on that. So on my website, the fan club tab that you see, there's a tab there's a page on my website for it. I haven't. Yeah, because I can't be. I do a Daniel Day-Lewis impersonation. You're just a boy, an afterbirth. I drink your milkshake.
I don't know if that sounds like Daniel Day-Lewis or not,
it
but
doesn't- not really.
I've had enough whiskey that it sounds great.
A little bit. There will be blood, Troy.
Yeah. Stay alive. I will find you.
Just a little. Ooh,
Let me tell you, Daniel Day-Lewis is, God, that guy's an amazing actor.
Yeah, he's great.
My favorite movie of his is Gangs of New York. And that guy, God, he was the villain. He's so good that as the villain, you're rooting for him. You're rooting for the villain, the guy who put a hatchet in the back of the sheriff. You're still man, that guy is cool.
He's great. So
yeah,
that's why I'm Daniel Not Day-Lewis. I'm just the audiobook, the weird enigma, amoebic kind of actor floating around the world recording audiobooks.
Well, that's your fault. I mean, it really is your fault. You should have not. You're the one who. That's your name. You're gonna draw comparisons to Daniel Day-Lewis. So you're gonna have to up your game, and hit that mark.
I gotta hit that mark.
Yeah.
I gotta go really method then.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta go method. If you're doing an audiobook where the guy is like a killer clown, you're gonna have to walk around.
You'll see me
in a clown
studio
outfit with a hatchet.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So
We
yeah,
got-
on my
yeah.
website, that tab hasn't been made yet, even though I said I was going to make it a couple weeks ago. I think obviously the world has gone haywire, and I've been trying to figure other things out, so I haven't made the actual fan club yet.
Yeah.
But essentially, it's just going to be a collection of promo codes for the books that I'm doing, updates for the projects that I'm working on,
Yeah.
little blurbs about the book, and then short stories that I wrote and narrated myself to send out to subscribers, little freebies.
That's very cool. It sounds like you've got a lot of stuff going on, and I mean, I think it's really neat just to kind of get like a daily or a weekly update on what's going on in Korea and how you're doing. I mean, it's always fascinating to me to to hear what's what's going on for you out there. So I enjoy that. So yeah, if you get a chance, to like and follow the Daniel James Lewis audiobook narrator. I'm going to see if I can't get Dan to like make that a longer thing, like Daniel James Lewis, not that Daniel Day Lewis guy, audiobook narrator, not the actor. Facebook page hashtag Trump impersonation.
Needs
then
to be,
maybe
hashtag Trump impersonation 2020.
Yeah.
It needs to be maybe just DJL.
Yeah, something like that. But I think if you find his page, I think that it would be cool to follow him just because
I can, the people who are in this group and commenting, I can just send them a link to the page and plug myself. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay. Well, Nathany is she's gonna check your stuff out, so you better hope she likes you, because her blog is gonna say, I really wanted to like this guy. I really, really wanted to like him. But then he started eating Korean barbecue, and no, I think it was a good time, and I appreciate you spending the time with us to just to kind of give us the give us your perspective and what's happening in Korea, and it was fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on the Troy, for putting me to sleep with the soothing Troy tones.
I will. I'll come up with like a theme song, like an opening theme, and like some curtains next time. So it'll be really showbiz next time.
Yeah.
And I'll drink less whiskey too. So I think I had a few too many whiskeys.
Maybe I'll be drinking next time, some Korean beer. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do this different. Let's do the opposite. I'll do mine in the morning time, and yours will be at nighttime. So
with some eggs Benedict, and I'll have I'll have some Korean beer, and so we'll switch it up.
Yeah. We'll do the Korean beer, and then we'll let you get sloppy, and then and I can be the one to maintain order.
Maybe I can ask you about a book you're doing. I don't know. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, if I can remember what I'm doing at that moment, I will definitely tell you about it.
Nice. Cool.
So it'll be fun. All right. Well, you guys have a great time in your restaurant. You've been eating for a little while. Tell your lovely girlfriend that I said thank you for the time. And we'll catch up with you when your book goes live, and it's called Tooth for Tooth by J.K. Franco.
That's right. Yeah. Thanks so much, and thanks everybody for listening to my ridiculousness and watching me eat. Oh my God.
Marie says hi to Somi.
Yeah, my aunt says hey to you.
All right, guys. You guys have fun, and we'll catch you next time. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. See you
We're
later.
going to end this broadcast. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.